pagkaibigan. Gopalakas, alagaan natin si inang kalikasan. Halika na totoo sa kalikasan at kapwa-tao. Di sa buhay natin ito. Kalusugan, pangkalikasan, Gopalakas.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hello,
And
everybody.
it's the first Saturday of the year.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, nice.
So, I guess, what did you do on your first day yesterday?
First day yesterday.
Yeah.
Marami kaming ginawa kahapon.
So, you know, it's for those who've been following us this past year. Again, we greet you on Happy New Year, and that we hope that things will be a lot better for everybody this year.
Yes.
And please continue in your support, and thank you for supporting us for this past many shows.
And keep staying well. We're still not out of the woods where it comes to our pandemic, but we've got a whole new year to keep doing well.
Yeah. More time, more chances, more opportunities. Okay?
Yeah.
And
So
before,
we always want to start
yeah.
in a good way. Diba?
Can I
So,
share a prayer to
Sure.
start our
best way to
show
begin.
today? Because this is something that was shared to me by my cousin on Viber. It's not an original from me, but I would like to share it because I found it very, very wonderful. This prayer for the last day of the year, but actually it's a prayer that we can say every day.
that can guide us. Yeah.
Oh God, our Father, today we are looking back across the year which is now passing from us. There is so much for which we need forgiveness, for the time we have wasted, for the opportunities we have neglected, for the emphasis we have given to the wrong things, for all the mistakes we have made. There is so much for which we ought to give you thanks, for health and for strength, for protection in the time of danger, for healing in the time of illness, for consolation in the day of sorrow, for daily light and daily encouragement. Bless those for whom this has been a happy year, and make them give thanks to you. Bless those for whom this has been a sad year, and help them still to face the future with steady eyes. And help us in the year to come to live it well, that at the end of it we shall not only be 1 year older, but that we shall also be 1 year nearer you. Amen.
Very
So,
nice. Thank you for sharing that.
To
with
be
us.
introspective in that prayer. Diba?
Yeah,
So this is something that, yes, looking at the past is very important, but you know, we cannot live on the past.
Yes.
We learn from it. We learn from our mistakes. We learn from even other people sharing their mistakes to make lives better for everybody. Diba? So we should not just be very limited to our own, what we only see, what is our only interest in life in general, but actually involve everybody else.
Yes,
Yeah.
speaking of everybody else,
Yes.
let's say hello
Yung
to
mga
everyone
kasumama
here.
natin sa show ngayon.
Oh,
Yes.
Rosalita Lascano, good morning.
Oo.
Hi. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
She's from
Yes.
So,
And there's Kalindi and Bo. They're both from the Philippines.
Alakbay, gulay. Yes. And Rene Araneta from Cebu.
Mary Salazar from Baguio.
Gilbert Pasqua. Happy
Also
New
from
Year daw.
Baguio,
Yes.
Yeah, greeting a happy New Year.
Jay
Yeah.
Resurrection
Right.
and Mike Rex. Good morning daw. Watching from Dasmariñas, Cavite.
Ruben Lontok.
And
happy New
Myra
Year.
Muriel Go.
Yeah.
Yes.
All good wishes, sabi niya.
Yes.
Okay, nice, very nice greetings. Or from California pala si
Yeah, si
Ruben.
Ruben, yeah.
Oo.
Nice.
Okay.
So
Oh,
anyway,
stay safe over there.
everybody, to begin with, always, we all want to start the year on a good note.
Yes.
Proper note. So,
And we want them to participate in our today's show by also asking you, like, we had so much fun the other show, reading and
hearing
hearing
from
from
you.
you, your comments. So this time we also want to hear from you again. And basically our question is, what is it that you cannot change, and what is it that you can change
And want to change.
and want to change? Okay. So, yun na nga, mga comments nyo, very important. We will appreciate them.
yeah, changes in our life. Diba? Living in this world, mabilis ang pagbabago talaga palagi. There's a daily change in every person's life.
Yes.
So introspecting and being introspective is very crucial, even on a daily basis. Making assessments of your own activities, life that you have lived for that day, how productive it's been.
Yeah.
How have you impacted not only yourself but also those who you love and your community in general.
Yeah, life is a journey. And as like any journey, we take many, many kinds of steps. Sometimes we have small steps, sometimes we have big steps, sometimes we need to step aside, sometimes we need to step back, take a look at things again. Sometimes we have to retrace our steps or maybe go
Right.
roundabout.
Kasi naligaw ka ng konti, kailangan mo. Balik-balik
Sometimes
tapos.
we need to change our path.
Oo,
Yeah.
oo.
So
Yes.
there are so many changes we go through. Sometimes we even not walk, but we ride vehicles, diba?
Oo.
You need to change your vehicle, nasira, or you really have to have a connecting flight or something. But all along the way, there are so many changes. So it's really important for us to take that in stride.
Yes.
We know that, okay, things won't always be the same. Sometimes good things happen, sometimes bad things happen, but we have to try to remain steady all the time so we can survive it.
Ang importante yung destination natin.
Yes.
Saan
Keep
ba
our
tayo?
eyes on
Oo.
our goal,
Yes.
where we want to reach, and
Baka kasi paikot-ikot tayo,
Oo.
hindi ba? Parang
At
walang
at saka let's
naaabot.
not give up, when things happen there are obstacles along the way.
Those
Parang
who-
langgam ba?
Those who have, for
Hanap ka
example,
ng
diba,
way.
the idea is to also capacitate yourself.
Yes.
Learning from the past also helps you capacitate yourself and adapt and adjust to the
Yeah.
new changes that occurs in your life.
Yeah, you can say, "Oh, I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going that road again."
There must be an acceptance of reality.
Yes.
Things that cannot be changed.
Right.
Kumbaga, we're not in control of everything. It's just like the weather. We cannot change the weather, but we can change what we are doing during a rainy day.
Yeah. Make the most of whatever it is. Like on rainy days, I just curl up with a book and read or do my little crafts, do
Yeah.
some artwork.
So basically, to start off ngayon, what you can change, in life. Let's listen to this short video of a little girl giving advice to her mother.
Okay.
Ka-
Sometimes the little ones have wise things
Yes,
to share with us.
We can get some good advice from even our children if they are, wise, as Marissa was saying. And basically, this little girl, she's just a toddler, and she saw her parents fighting. Oo, yun, no.
Okay.
So, nag-react siya very strongly. And she shares with her mom. Actually, she was telling this to her mom. Ano yung naisip niya, ano yung thoughts niya upon seeing her parents fighting.
Okay, very interesting.
Okay,
Let's
so
see
let's
this.
let's watch this.
So what else than me? Mom, are you ready to be his friend?
Yes.
Try not to be that high up to be friends. I want everything to be low. Okay?
Okay.
Just try your best. I don't want you and my dad to be replaced and meanies again. I want you and my dad to be placed as settled and be friends. I'm not trying to be mean. I just want everyone to be friends. And if I can be nice, I think all of us can be nice too. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm trying to do my best in my heart. Nothing else than that. I want you, Mom, my dad, everyone to be friends. I want everyone to be smiling. Not like being mad. I want everything to smile. Especially when I see someone, I want them to smile. Especially Nana, everyone. I want everyone to smile. And if that's for my dad and you, Mom, I think you can do it. I think you can settle your mean heights down a little to short heights. Then it's both, okay? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be a bully. I'm trying to be steady on the floor, not way down, on straight, on the middle where my heart is. My heart is something. Everyone else's heart is something too. And if we live in a world where everyone's being mean, everyone's going to be a monster in their future. What if there's a little bit of persons and we will eat them, then no one will ever be here. Only the monsters in our place. We need everyone to be a person. Everyone, including me and my mom, everyone. I just want everything to be settled down. Nothing else. I just want everything to be good as possible. Nothing else.
Thank you, Tiana. Come give mommy to. I love you.
I love you too. So what else than me?
Okay, so thank you to Daily Mail for posting that, and thank you to little Tiana, for sharing her wisdom with us. It's gone viral all around the world, millions of viewers, and I think that the people are touched by what she said.
All right, we're going to be good for you, for everyone.
And it's the formula.
It's the formula.
To be humble.
True.
Yeah.
You've got to look in your heart and bring the goodness out.
Tapos sabi niya yung heights, no? To bring it down yung heights to shorter heights,
time
hindi
to be
ba?
humble.
Yeah. So there's balance.
Oh,
So
sabi
our
niya
clarity,
yung balance.
it is in that position or situation that most of us,
It's
if
stable.
we step back or stable, we can see things very clearly. There's clarity, balance, and then patience is
Sanity.
involved, and you feel. It's important to be feeling things out all the time.
Oh my gosh, she's like a little angel giving us all this wonderful wisdom.
And she's teaching her parents, no? Kasi naman talagang malungkot ang bata pag nakita nag-aaway yung mga tao. And what makes her happy is to see people smile. And I think that little effort on our part, will also be changing other people's moods, di ba?
Yeah.
Pag when they see you smile,
It's
contagious.
the best
May
change.
nakakahawa yan Ayan, maraming
true.
smiles pa coming along our way.
Even laughter.
Yeah. Here
So-
we have from Lukban, Quezon, si Obmerga, Cynthia Obmerga, si Rina Gal from Makati. Then we have Joanne Zamoranos.
Yeah.
Needs You from Cavite.
Oh, Dada Raquepo.
Oh, yan, si Dada from Northern Living Realty. And Anandango from Zambales. Har says, Happy New Year. And then, Gopalakas. Okay, so yan ang mga ating viewers who are joining us. And thank you for joining. And please share your comments on our question. What do you want to change? What can't you change? Like this little girl is saying, what she wants to change, you know. Pwede ba, Mami, ito, baguhin mo, you know.
Okay, there's one there from Myra. You can
From
read that.
Myra, change is a
Permanent phenomenon in
Okay.
our lives.
Yeah.
Every time
Truly.
change occur,
we have the
we have opportunity to learn about ourselves in relation to our journey back to God.
Yes.
Truly.
Something to be
Change
introspective
is the
with.
constant in our lives.
Right.
And it's an opportunity, as she said, to
Yes.
learn things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kasi pag may na changes, sandali, mag-iisip ka. Whereas if everything is just so smooth, parang hindi ka na, parang cruise control, parang nagku-cruise ka na
Yeah.
lang, hindi mo na ka na masyadong nag-iisip, no? Bakit ba ganito? Bakit ba nangyayari ito? Which is a very intelligent question that the
Yes.
sages actually ask. Why am I here? Why am I suffering? And, you know, what can I do? What is the solution to
Yes.
this suffering condition? This is a very important question.
And it's so true, yeah. When changes happen, sometimes we're surprised even by our own reaction. We didn't realize we would react that way, yeah?
Yes.
To a certain situation.
Oo. Like
So we learn from
yeah.
that.
Learning is a very important thing, but first we must accept the reality that there is a problem, hindi ba? That there's something that is not quite right.
Yeah.
And we want to improve that situation. So pag there is the acceptance. Like if
Yeah.
a person is sick, you have to first accept that you are sick and that you want to get well. Because yung iba, pag denial, hindi ba,
Yeah.
pag denial,
mangyari, oo.
hindi mag-start yung healing process.
And sometimes the change is a good change, but we just did not recognize or accept it yet,
Yes.
right? At
Oo.
first, our reaction may be negative, but it's actually a good change. So the
It-
acceptance is really important there.
In leadership or servant leadership, this is the key. It's not always the leader that speaks. Before he speaks, he listens out to everybody. It may be the one who's in the lowest rung of his company
Oo.
to the one closest to his position. But hearing everybody out, those who do this, it's a secret to the success. But because it's not just merely productivity of every person, he's involved with every aspect. Or say if he understands the capacity of a particular person that works for him, and he actually cares for this person, he would know that there's something that maybe why this person is not working well today. He's sensitive to that immediately. He's sensitive to the well-being, the holistic needs of his people around him.
Yes.
This is on the servant leadership programs, or people who abide by these principles of servant leadership. So it all has to do with humbleness. It's just as that little girl was hoping, and praying, di ba?
That's a perfect example. She's a tiny little person, but she had something to say, and because
Yeah.
her mother listened, then all of us benefit from that.
Yeah, the sensitivity. You become very more sensitive to those around you. Not only those who you may not be or you don't know, but as human beings, we are given a heart that we can feel what that heart is telling us. Di ba?
Yes.
We can go deep, and that we can be interconnected to everybody else with very, it's like we should be giving respect
Yeah.
to everybody else. You know,
Yes.
yung ganun ba?
Oo.
It's a sage lifestyle.
Yeah.
Kumbaga, they can see everybody in equals. Even the trees, the birds, they're all beings, spiritual beings, part and parcel of God. And that we should always be giving this respect to everybody we see. And we can make adjustments as to who we associate with, but we live our life humbling ourselves, always ready to offer respects to others.
Sana if there's more respect in the world, di ba? Then there will be actually a greater peace.
Yeah, and
Di ba?
some harmony.
And humility to actually respect. But even this respect, it manifests itself, sometimes kasi what we want to change, can we change, kayo, kailangan mag-change. Di ba? We expect other people to change. However, we have to recognize also that people have their individual will.
Right.
Hindi ba? The subject of some people nga, when they get married, sabihin ng mga tao, alam mo, may ganyang ugali. Hindi, magbabago yan. Ako magbabago sa kanya. Di ba? I will be the one to change him. However, then you are faced with the situation, it's so hard pala to
With the
change a
reality.
person, hindi ba? So, however, ang
But yet,
natutunan ko doon.
we have been given a formula
Oo.
to change from within.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
have that
Yes.
I
means.
think we need to focus more on changing ourselves
Yeah.
than
Yes.
others.
And an
Yeah,
internal
it's really-
change that occurs.
You can't really
You
do
begin
that.
inside.
Yes.
So you're able to, all scriptures, it teaches us that the scripture, the basis of scripture, that it is the way to, it is what guides us, how to live our lives and our interaction with others. What is our priority? What is important? What is not? So when we abide by such guidance all the time, by great saintly persons, by spiritual teachers who have come and have left a world a better place, showing us the way. And then this makes a difference in our life instead of us trying to track a new destiny for ourselves. And in doing so, we tend to make more mistakes that way.
So what
Good
we
to
can
follow
change
guides.
will be changing priorities.
Yeah.
Di ba? What is more important? I think this pandemic has taught us
What
that
is really
what is
a
really
priority.
what is really important
Yes.
that we can live with, we can survive without, hindi ba? And that there are ways that even if there's problems, like you find other means, hindi ba, to adjust. Like hindi na pwede yung physical embrace hanggang ano na lang, sign,
Elbows.
but
Fist.
all mga but that
I
is a
like
good
this one. You don't
actually,
really touch.
that's a good habit to develop. Yung beso-beso kasi delikado yun.
Or, what's the
diba?
best way?
Sharing air.
Ano
A
pa?
real ancient way of greeting one another.
Ano?
Like this
Then,
one talaga.
what does this mean if we have to
Means
explain?
namaste.
Yeah.
I offer my
Oh.
respects to you, my friend,
Right.
and the Lord in your heart as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really a sign of respect, this
Right.
one. Oo.
So it's a good,
It's
it's
also
being
like
practiced.
going down,
It's
stable,
being practiced
yeah.
here in the Philippines naman. Meron naman yan eh. It's not like compared to Thailand, those places where talagang, or in India na they're always in a prayerful, every time they see another person, offering respects is something that is part and parcel in their existence because they go beyond to just seeing the body.
And
It's a-
I think one good thing also is that people have come to be more humanitarian.
Right.
This time, actually distributing food, helping people in need who are more without the essentials, no?
Yeah. They're moved by their compassion to help
Yun yung
those
sinasabi
who
mo
are
to capacitate
Yeah.
ourselves to be able to do things without waiting for the government, waiting for other people, but what we can do, then we can act on it.
Yeah, Katinari, di ba, for example, handshakes.
Oh.
What is the gesture? Kadalasan yun, when you shake each other's hands,
Oo.
it's like ngayon, when you touch another person's hand. The whole idea for that was, I'm not holding a weapon.
Yeah, that's the
There's
the
a
history
meaning.
behind
That's the
There's a
history of
meaning.
that.
the history
Okay.
behind it. You show
Ngayon,
that you have an empty hand.
You have an empty hand.
Okay.
No
Diba?
weapon, no.
So in martial arts, you will find them closing their fists, covering their fists like this. The student and the teacher would always do this. And
Sa ano
they
yun
would
naman
bow.
sa
Martial arts.
Martial arts.
It's
Meron
a
palang
greeting
meaning din
or
yun.
saying, it's a sign of respect that my fist is closed. I'm not fighting.
Ganon.
My respect.
Oo.
That's why when they
Hindi
bow-
kita susuntukin.
Yeah.
Ayan.
I'm
Stop na
holding
yan.
it.
I'm holding it. I'm not
Some of
gonna
them would
punch
go
you.
like this because nowadays, sinasabi ng some of the teachers, you have to always be looking at your adversary and
Keep
opponent.
your eye on your opponent.
But the true practice of that is a bow.
Look down.
Look down on the
Okay.
person's feet.
Oh, yes.
That's you humble yourself.
Yan, ang ganda.
Saying that, any warrior who sees that gesture immediately would not attack, would not have any ill intent towards you.
Yeah.
Similarly, yung respects na ganito, it goes deeper. You know, it goes a long way. And a person who you know, in life, maging magalang lang tayo. Even people like, for example, and people are kind of aloof from him, but they're afraid because he has a certain reputation. Para siyang gangster yung dating, di ba? But one time, first time I had a meeting with him, I met him. First thing I did was offer him, and I offer my respects to him. Immediately he changed the way. Parang. Then I went like this and shook his hand. This was before the pandemic. And I offered him the chair I was being offered to. Immediately, it changes the dynamics of our conversation immediately. It's not measured by, you know, normally, oh, sino ka ba? Oh, ano ka ba? Ano bang...
The fronts are
Right.
not there anymore.
Immediately, your conversation opens up to something more different.
No,
You
nice.
know? So,
Parang yung relationship
yeah,
biglang
immediately
naging-
establish something
Oo.
that is more of...
More personal yung
No.
relationship. Hindi
Yeah.
official as, you know,
Right.
government officials.
Anyway, let's greet Harry Yumol from
alright.
Ilocos Norte, from Lawag. Happy New Year.
Gopalakas.
And Nanda Teves Ngo, yeah, from Zambales. And then definitely Abelina Aguas, you know.
Yes,
Okay.
okay. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. So, again, changes, you know. It's a life that we live here in this world. There's a constant sea of change that we go through from the time we were born until we have to leave our bodies.
Kasi hindi ba yung body nag-change
Yeah.
talaga? Hindi ba? From yung little baby cute, tapos pag tumatanda, cute na, nakakatakot na yung...
No,
May ano na,
siyempre, it all depends on the
It's-
consciousness that they keep and how they live their life.
Nagdi-deteriorate yung
Oh,
beauty.
nakikita natin yan, nagbabago. Yung buhok na maitim, nagiging maputi, you know.
O yung buhok nawawala.
Oh, no.
Di ba?
But
But
yet,
that's the sign. That's the sign that everything in this material world is actually
Temporal.
merong point na appearance, tapos mag-grow, tapos magdi-deteriorate.
Right.
Hindi ba? That's the cycle. That's actually the pattern that's
Yes.
established in everything in this world.
and many of those who live not have established a life from within, all of such difficulties or changes becomes also a source of agitation.
Oo.
Yes.
Oo.
See, that's why we
But
have been...
as we age, yun nga. When you're young, you're so focused on your body and how it looks. But as you age, hopefully get wiser and know that it goes beyond that. Yeah.
'Cause-
You end up,
yeah.
more important to you are really your relationships, your friendships. You know, your amigas who've grown old with you as well, and you have fun together. You know, despite the white hairs and the
The
multitude of wrinkles.
the pattern in the material world is that there's growth and there's diminished, existence. However, why are we so struggling against
Yeah.
this? It's because of our nature.
Also,
Of being eternal. We're not really
Yes.
belonging here.
and it's also the nature of this world, because the nature of this world is a time factor.
Yes.
Diba? We're subjected by time, eh? But if you are, kumbaga na, the time is something that if you spend your time with valuable things that actually endures,
Yes.
not just things that you know, oh, pag binigyan ko ng importansya to. Pero yung pala, it's only good for a day or two.
Yeah. Yung mga bata pag sa laruan, hanggang doon na few hours, tapos kalimutan na.
We have to remember that we came to this world with nothing, and that's how we're going to leave it also. Let's not get too attached to all the things here. We're here temporarily, cool lang tayo. You know, it's like going through a bus stop. You're not gonna be there forever, right? You're just there for a short time. So let's not get too hung up on everything that's there.
So even we're in the airport or in a terminal, hindi natin iniisip, o dito na ako papwesto.
Yeah, I like it here.
Dito
there's
ako
food,
magbabahay, dito
there's
ako
things to buy. Yeah.
magka-house.
Oo.
No, it's just, you have to live. It's just a temporary
Yeah,
situation
let's
there.
not lose sight of that fact that it's really a journey from one end to the other, from birth to death, and what we do between, that's what really counts. Yeah.
So if we would really want something permanent, because that's our nature, then we have to look for the permanent world, the
Yes.
permanent world, and the permanent relationships in that world.
The source of real happiness.
Yes, which
And
is
learning to live this way now.
Yes.
With the human form that we have, on human life, ganyan yan eh. We are able to experience that which is beyond this world.
When I was
We can live in the spiritual realm,
Yeah.
yet at the same time living in this world that we live in. When
Yeah.
Jesus Christ came, this is what
Yeah.
basically He established.
Yes.
To strengthen, hey, this is why we're all suffering is because we are not connected to the real world.
Yeah,
Yes.
don't get stuck with mammon. It's so
Yeah.
temporary that one time I had a few students, right? I brought gum to school. Okay, I gave everybody a piece of gum. I said, okay, we're all gonna open this and chew on it. I'm gonna time. How long it takes for the sweetness to go away.
Ah.
So kainan sila, excited sila to eat their gum. And then, wow, I don't think we reached 1 minute. Everyone was
God.
gonna say,
Bilis
it's
pala
gone, wala na yung
mawala."
sweetness ko.
Sweetness is gone.
You have that little chiclet. There's not much in there.
Did
you
they
know?
pass around the chiclet after?
No.
There's another story
I
like
gave them
that.
their own. But yeah, parang ganoon, Life
the
is like
chewed.
that. It's already something that's, when you're talking about passing the chiclet, of course, this is really bad, okay? You don't do this. Mag-COVID pa tayo. But some people do this, right? They actually
The
chew
kind-
what has already been chewed
Sure.
by others. It's really not, you're not gonna get much sweetness there. So, trying to find happiness in this world is like that, You have some sweetness, pero bitin naman it doesn't last, That's why you need to find a source of real sweetness na hindi nauubos. It's
Permanent.
always sweet.
That's the
Yeah.
nature that we have. We're by nature spirit.
Yeah, and we love to have happiness. That's our goal in
we're
life.
looking
Peace.
for that.
Experience all, a loving relationship. Happiness is always, we look forward to that, and we always are looking for that.
Yeah, we need those real friendships.
We're looking for
Not
that.
just
We're
this-
desiring for
Yeah,
it.
not just those things on social media na, finrend ako nito. And then biglang, na-unfriend na ako. That's how temporary
Sabi
it
ng iba,
is.
sakit naman. Bakit ako na-unfriend? Wala na
We
yung
need
friend.
some real friends.
Okay, let's greet our friends from Bukidnon, from
Oh,
Madana
Madana.
Mohana, our friend.
Yes, and
Okay.
Annie.
Amy Tong. Good
Amy,
morning.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for joining us again. And so, yung mga changes na it's manifestation that's natural, it's natural in the material world that there will be
Yes.
changes. But for the eternal soul, the being, tayo, yung mga persons that seek permanency. We want something to be forever, to last for the longest time, So this we can actually find in a relationship with the Supreme Being and the source of all things, which is actually God. And therefore, kaya yung bahay-bahay dito sa mundo, makita mo, laging nasisira Di ba? Laging
It's a
inaanay,
constant
nawawala,
struggle,
may bagyo, sisirain yung binild mo.
Oo.
Ano kaya yung lesson doon? Hindi ba? Isn't that a lesson in itself?
Yeah, it constantly needs attention.
Yeah, you're always
So-
maintaining.
So hard to
Even
maintain a
even
house.
even our very physical being. You need to exercise. You need to eat right. There's
Today
things
you
you
have
need
a
to do.
tooth, tomorrow it's gone.
Or these are realities of this living in this world. But it's also something that those who follow the way the sages would live their lives,
Yes.
be sage-like,
Yes.
embrace such way of life, something that is connected, a life that connects to that which is permanent.
So you're not shaken by the changes that happen.
This is actually what
Kasi
capacitating
constant yan
your life. It's not a matter of how do you make it so that you're the strength? No, because the strength can always come from within it. Because everything else in this world is temporary. We cannot cling on to it, no matter how powerful or rich we may be, or
Yeah.
strong physically we may be. How long is that? It's going to last. Di ba? Even if, sometimes when we get stuck with this sort of consciousness, you will find, tanda na, nagpapamacho pa Yung pala, sisipa pa na gano'n, no? Yung pala, pag subukan niya, do some form of martial arts, biglang, oops!
Oop, I just pulled my back.
Kinabukasan, or you go out there and you look at the waves, and you go, wow, I used to surf, I used to swim point to point here. You try it out there, pakapasok mo pa lang, lalamigi ka na kagad, hindi ka pa nagsusurf, These are realities of life. You try to make it the best of those, but, you can look back to it and say, I think I've surfed enough.
Yeah.
But now I should be
Been there,
surfing the
done that.
transcendental wave. We should ride on the transcendental wave. Ito ang something that we can learn, and we listen to the Lord in the heart, or follow the footsteps of great saintly persons.
So meron pa rin excitement, merong sweetness
Oh,
riding the
Life can be very
transcendental
exciting in
wave,
this world.
diba?
Sa totoo lang, life is actually very exciting in this world. You
But-
can live that type of life here.
And actually, yung foundation ng ating to be able to face the changes. Marissa, the other day you were saying about a tree, hindi ba?
Oh yeah, we need to plant a seed of a big tree. Yeah, it's like the transcendental seed you plant in your heart, and that is love for God. It can grow very, very deep roots, and it will grow very tall and strong. So when the winds of change come, no matter how strong, kahit na ondoy strength, hindi siya basta
Yolanda
babagsak.
strength.
We
Yes.
will remain strong no matter what changes we go through.
Okay,
This is the kind
let-
of tree we should plant.
Okay, let's greet our viewers. Cynthia Silvestre, Happy New Year.
Si Vina Pascua.
Vina Pascua, Happy New Year from Baguio. And then Katrino, okay, Happy New Year too.
Oh, and,
And
we
then,
have a comment
and
here. He's answering
Aji
the question.
Omerga,
Yes,
okay,
there.
sharing something.
Yes. By
Eh.
myself, I cannot change the destruction of
Of
the
the
environment and how degraded people have become. But I can start by changing the way I
I
live
live.
and hopefully influence others.
Oh, very nice.
Very
di ba?
nice.
You lead by example.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh.
Kasi
Yeah,
ma-frustrate ka. Pag tinignan mo iba, bakit hindi ka pa ba nagbabago? Ilang taon na hindi ka pa nagbabago. Nakaka-frustrate hindi ba? When you're waiting for some people to change,
Yes.
it's kind of frustrating. But when you see in yourself that somehow you've learned more, somehow you've had more, you've done a lot more good and everything, then you can find fulfillment in
Yeah.
them.
Even here, sa Gopalakas, we also have a program called Kurma. Yeah, before, with Kurma, we found some little turtles and we wanted to help them. At the time, we didn't have many people understanding what we were trying to do. But in time, because of what we have done, more and more people have gotten involved. No? Like last month, there was a turtle that was trying to nest, and people were milling around the turtle, and she couldn't nest. Yeah, she left, and which is unfortunate, because that means her babies will be aborted. Yeah, in the ocean, because they need to lay at a certain point. But recently, just maybe 2-3 days ago, another mother turtle came.
During daylight.
Yeah, about the same area. Yeah,
Yeah,
but then
daylight.
the people there realized,
Daytime
we've got
pa.
to help.
Oo.
And people actually made an area around them.
They cordon.
Yeah,
They
they
create
cordoned
a
the
barrier.
area.
Kita ko nga bamboo poles yung ginamit na pang cordon
yes, and
you
then
know?
the people, kept their distance. They learned from their first time that they
because
did the wrong
yung
thing.
Kurma spokesperson natin, sinabihan sila,
Yes.
huwag niyong gawin to ng ganyan. No?
Oo.
Etong gagawin niyo next time. And
Yeah.
they did.
They did it. It was
They
very
did.
nice. They
learned.
actually
Oo.
allowed the mother to lay her eggs. And then when she was finished, she was done, she was leaving, that's when they were making their noise kasi they're all excited that they did the right thing. So, sometimes a person's changing the way they do things, it grows, yeah? It becomes something that others learn from and follow. So, very nice contribution, yeah, from Mr. Obnerga.
There's a power in influencing people. Hindi ba? Kaya nga meron tayong tinatawag na influencers. So, depending sino yung influencer na pinakikinggan nyo, then you will be moved to do certain things or behave in a certain way. So, kung maganda yung influencer na pinapakinggan mo, then definitely you will be motivated to actually follow in the footsteps of such an leader. Diba?
You lead by example.
Leading by example.
That's the main thing.
Kasi
You lead by
frustrating
example.
din yung salita ng salita yung tao
Yes,
tapos
exactly.
walang gawa. Hindi ba parang,
Oh,
ano ba
yes.
yan? Parang naririnig
Walk the
lang.
talk.
Oo,
You
parang
see the reality ng
frustration.
situations. There are times, when you, the field of work I do in the environment, ang dami ko na-encounter na gano'n. You encounter some of the former leaderships. And you go, they try to imply upon you that, this is the things we did then. But, when you're dealing with the environment is subjected to constant changing. But it can sustain itself given that opportunity, and you leave it by itself, but it will take time. But because the destruction has been so quick, so we need to be also devising a system to make it so that the recovery is quicker. Because time is of an essence, when it gets to the environment.
There's another
Okay, let's read another.
contribution here. Yeah,
Contribution.
comment from
Katrino.
Katrino.
Yes.
You can read.
We emulate the values you present in your program, but in the light of condition of the society today, we cannot find a
Role model
role model
to live
in
the ideals you
you
present.
Can you give us an example of people who can be a role model to be emulated towards positive action? O yan, sino ba daw mga examples na pwede nating sundin diyan sa ating mga ginagawa? Sinasabi natin maging leaders.
There are actually many. Sometimes it's so hard to find a perfect leader today. But there are certain leaderships that they have certain good qualities, that they may not be perfect, but their qualities you can see and appreciate and learn from. Sometimes
After all, wala namang perfect.
it's so hard to
Oo.
be judgmental at the same time, because but at the same time, being sensitive by the person's actions and more than his words, you will find that every person has its potential.
Yes.
Even ourselves. It begins with us. Right, in the world, we see different leaderships in the world. You'll find certain leaders that you go, that person's going to make life hard for the society in general, yung decisions they make, but other people would follow them.
Yeah.
Di ba? May mga ganun na mga liderato na, I like this leader, but for others, the example of
For example, in environment,
In moder-
David Attenborough.
David Attenborough.
That's a very good influence.
Yeah, he's a very good
for
influence.
others,
He has his strengths, he has his weaknesses too.
Yeah, just look
Yeah.
at this.
In this-
Take the good.
Personally naman, from the spiritual point of view, I would say my teacher, Jagadguru Siddha Swarupananda, has been such a good model, has been a good teacher. He has given so much wisdom to people. So, we have hope kasi meron po mga tao that we can really learn from, that we can actually follow their example and follow the teachings that they give. So it's very, I would say, satisfying to those who are seeking, because they can find such answers.
There's another line here. The sweetness we'll just read this again. The sweetness you speak of a loving relationship with God is indeed the only way to heal the wounds that change brings to our lives. This is so true.
Yes.
This is a fact,
Love
Ultimate,
is very
ultimate.
important. Love
Yeah,
for
there
God
are others
is-
who would, we
Jesus Christ is also an example,
syempre.
I must say.
Yeah.
Diba?
and there are those, the great saintly persons. There's so many.
Yeah.
Even the modern leaderships, you will find those who are very honest and
The Pope, di ba nagsusulat about the environment, very caring din siya. Di
there's
ba?
many. There are many, and then let us also make it so that our lives are examples and models. Doing good deeds, making the environment much better, taking care of the animals, making sure their habitats are protected. These are pious acts.
Yes.
But we can go beyond this. It can be a service opportunity for us. It can be part of our serving God.
And
Connection to it.
Wisdom is not something that only comes from people who are well known, who have a certain position. I mean, just like today, we all experience learning some pearls of wisdom from this little child. It's up to us to open our hearts and our ears to be receptive. Because God speaks to us in many ways through different people.
Yeah,
You
true.
know.
Oo.
There's a comment by Dada from North Living Reality. Dada Raquepo saying, role model for people who have been taking care of and being kind to
Being kind
animals.
to
Diba? May mga ganyan eh. There are people who does this, You will
Yes.
find that their comforts, their time is being put into. But, kagandahan kasi sa mga ganitong roles, sometimes it's hard to look at how to connect it. Parang spiritual activity ba yan?
She
Or,
mentions Carlos as the role model.
right.
Oo.
Sinasabi na ganito, but, the truth is, if you take care of the environment, it's service to God. It's as simple as that. Our Pope Francis now, he's presenting this. He's encouraging most Christians and Catholics, you have to take care of the environment.
Oh, yes.
It is service.
Yes.
Because, you know why? It's far-reaching. The impact of such actions goes beyond the years that you're living in this world. It goes beyond that. It's future-looking.
Yep.
I mentioned this before. You plant a tree, it's not for yourself. It's for many people
And animals.
and animals. Okay.
Birds.
So, to our...
From Lakbay Gulay, one last comment. We cannot change so many things from massive environmental destruction, but in my own life or way. We can do little things and influence people from planting trees, changing our diet, and practicing
mindfulness.
meditation, mindfulness, becoming a good model to people and making sure you walk the talk.
We'll end it on that, yeah?
Yes.
That's nice. So it's
Thank
something-
you very much. Yeah.
something that we...
Yes, changing diet is a big thing actually. It's not a little change.
the
Helps
change
the
actually
environment.
helps a
Yeah.
person.
And
It
the
changes your
environment.
Consciousness yan.
Yeah, oh, yes.
It's a big contribution to the environment. Thank you for doing that. Yeah.
Okay, to our friends, again, our time is up on this one. And we hope that you send us more questions, for discussion. It's something that you suggest that we can maybe discuss in the next segments.
Yeah, and thank you for all your feedback today. Yeah.
And keep it coming, all right? Maraming salamat. Thank you so much, and always start your year on a
Stay
high note.
well.
Stay well, stay humble.
Yes.
That's the
Thank
key.
you.
See
Thank you so much.
again.
Thank you. Bye.
God bless, take care, bye.
Pangkalusugan, pangkalikasan, Gopalakas.